Hey everybody, Mark Wingerter, Managing Director for Grand Junction and Montrose offices with Coldwell Banker Distinctive Properties. Welcome to the Distinctive Daily. Today we're going to travel into the future. All right, I apologize for that. It might have been a little creepy, but we're going to roll with it anyway. What I'm talking about here is something that I picked up from a mastermind panel kind of call the other day with a couple of CEOs of pretty big companies. The CEO, like the founder and CEO of HomeSmart, was on there. Robert from founder CEO of Compass, and right off the top of my head, I can't remember the other two brands. But one of the things that really stuck with me on that was one of the guys mentioned, well, what's going on in the world right now, right? All of these food delivery companies are going nuts, right? The anything that's virtual, whether it's social media, Zoom, Facebook Lives are happening all over the place, right? We've been talking about how the market's shifting and the things that are happening in our world and how video is going to take over and all this stuff. And by the end of this year, blah, 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 blah. Well, we just got moved into the future. The concept is right now that essentially all of those virtual services just shifted up 10 years ahead of where they were. Think about this. During World War II, so all this stuff that we're doing right now, why do you think we're doing it now? Because of the ball that got kicked down the hill that started rolling in World War II. It took an immense tragedy and an immense global catastrophe, really, to implement the absolute need to innovate on computers, shrinking them, making them faster, making them better. Things like GPS technology, that came directly from stuff that was happening because of the space program. So we're talking the 60s, right? Which was a Cold War thing that really started with guys that were launching ballistic missiles for nuclear weapons from World War II. So you really trace the lineage of what we're doing right now back to there. If that didn't happen, when would that stuff have rolled out? So if we look at what's happening in the world today and all of the stuff that all of a sudden we've been just shoved down our throat, we have to rely on. You know, grocery delivery was kind of a thing, pickups were kind of a thing. Now it's almost 50%, I bet, of what they're doing. You go into the grocery stores right now, they're filling big old racks constantly. You'd see it occasionally before, but now if you really pay attention, they're doing it a ton. And that stuff would have trickled into a big deal. Now it's just boom, shifted ahead. So the point is, lean into that tech. These virtual open house things, didn't really think much of that. That would have been a kind of a ridiculous thing. If you would have asked me in January, hey, should I do a virtual open house? I would have laughed at you. Who the heck is this guy? Just go talk to humans. Now we're starting to realize that the views that are coming from the virtual open houses are phenomenal. Like thousands, hundreds. I don't know of anybody in any of our small markets that's realistically ever had 350 people, 500, 800 people, like in Cole Helbert's case up in Steamboat. I think he's got 800, probably way higher than that now, that have viewed that property in the virtual open house. Are you kidding me? Like, it's not going to replace the traditional open house. Once we get out of this, we're still going to be doing those. That's still got huge value, but you can hold a virtual open house in the middle of the week. For that matter, it's happening constantly right now. Take a look around you. Look at how many open houses. I know there was at least 3 that I know of today in other offices, and they're behind where we were because we were some of the first people to do one, period, in Junction here. And now all the other companies are following suit. I just was interviewed for a news article related to the subject, which is kind of hilarious, really, when you get down to it. They were talking about virtual reality versus paper print. Holy cow. But they're going to run an article on it anyway. So whatever. But that just gives you a glimpse into, don't poo-poo this stuff. If you are not on board with the tech train, you were already falling behind. You just got thrown off the train. Get on board. Make sure that you're getting up to speed. We can help you any way we can. Ed and our guys up in marketing, they are, well, actually mostly girls up in marketing other than Ed. They can definitely help line you out on some of these things and give you some of the best practices that we've developed throughout the entire company. Use our size and depth of technology and experience to your advantage. You do not need to reinvent the wheel here. We got people testing the waters all over the place, and we're developing best practices almost on the daily. So anyway, lean in big time to the tech. Thank you for your time, and get out there and kill it.